Welcome to Melissa Honey Speaks, where we chat about feminine magic, mindset, and manifesting. I'm your host and feminine magic guide, Melissa Honey. Welcome back to another episode of Melissa Honey Speaks. I'm your host, Melissa Honey. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about, I want to go back to a subject that I spoke about before. If you watch my YouTube channel, you see that it's a previous topic that I spoke about before. And I kind of did a rant about polyamory and things like that. So I want to just touch back on that and talk a little bit more about what it is, what it isn't, talk about how it's going for me and things like that. So as you may or may not know from my last video, we talked about a poly event, like I said, and it was just talking about why I choose a poly life and why it's more beneficial to me. So let's talk about how it's going so far. So polyamory is really just a relationship style or a love style or a relationship style where you are, or you have the capability or the possibility to have relationships with multiple people that you desire. And the reason why this is beneficial for me is because I like having relationships with more than one person. All people have unique aspects about them, so it brings a different aspect to me. And I love people, so I never want to leave people behind. All of my I want to be friends with everybody, platonic or romantic. Polyamory doesn't have to be about romantic relationships only. It can be platonic relationships as well. Having more friends. One thing that I noticed in previous monogamous relationships is that if you had an old boyfriend who is now still your friend, it was always a contradiction or always a fight basically about whether or not you can be that person's friend and whether or not men and women can be friends while they're inside relationships with other people. Like you can't have a best friend who is a guy, or you can't have a best friend who is a girl if you're a guy. And all these things are basically, to me, ridiculous. So being polyamorous serves me because I like having friends. I like keeping my friends. I don't want to have to be like, well, I can't be your friend anymore because I'm now in this relationship with this other guy and he doesn't like you. So for me, being polyamorous is like, okay, so I can have love relationships with this person and this person and this person, and it's not going to be a fight for me because I am a free woman. I'm free in my mind, body, and spirit. I'm sexually free, all these things that I'm free. So that means that people that I date, I'm hoping that they're also having the same mindset as me, as far as being free to love who you want to, when you want to, and how you want to. Freedom to decide how you want your relationships to be and not be stuck in a relationship style that doesn't work for you. And sometimes monogamy works for you. That's great. If it doesn't, then you can always find other options to not have to worry about that. So polyamory works for me. So I consider myself solo poly, meaning that I am a single person who is polyamorous, means that I date multiple people. And so for me, let's talk about the dating scene. Dating is easy for anyone. But the dating scene is difficult, meaning that it's hard to find good quality people sometimes. But when you're dating as a polyamorous person, people don't understand what poly means. So they think that it's about sex or swinging, and it can be, but it's not always about that. Polyamory is just a relationship style where you relate with more than one person. So you could have a committed relationship and still be poly. You can have a non-committed relationship and still be poly. So there's all different forms of polyamory, and how you decide what you want is for you, is your decision. So some people think that, like I said, it's just about swinging and having multiple romantic relationships with whoever you want to and being open, but it's not just that. It can be, and of course that's part of it, but that's not the entire part of being polyamorous. It's not just about sex. It's about friendship. It's about building something. It's about connection. It's about the energy of connecting with unique people and having those people benefit your life and you benefit their life all together. Also, being to me makes me more selective on who I want to be with. I don't have to worry about settling down and buckling down, trying to find that one person who's only going to give me 80 to 90% of what I want, and then still feeling unsatisfied by not being able to find what else I want out there too. So for me, I get to be selective about, I like this person and like what that person can offer me and what I can offer them, and we're good together in this way, and this other person, we're good together in that way. And that's what I like about being poly, is that I get to choose who I want to be with, and I don't have to rush to make any decisions like, okay, well, who's going to be my partner for life? I don't have to do that. I can be more fluid in my relationships, and so that's what I like about being poly. Like I said, it's about the freedom of deciding how I want to live my life and who I want to be with. I don't have to worry about leaving friends behind or saying, well, this person, I can't be friends with that person anymore because I'm in this relationship. And that's one thing for me that has been hard, is leaving old relationships behind because I'm with someone new, and I don't want to do that. I want to be able to have relationships with whoever I want to. So for me, that's what poly life is. Like I said, misconceptions of poly is that it's all about sex. It's really not. And sometimes you only see poly as being a man with many partners. You very rarely do you see a woman with many partners. Or it's not that it's not common, because it's very common. It's just not what people tend to show or showcase. They always showcase men with multiple women, but women also want to have more than one partner, have more than and have freedom to do and to come in to have relationships with who they want to. Women want freedom too, not just men. And for the reasons people say that it's economic, but it's not always economic. It's really more about being able to be free to choose who you want to be with, when you want to be with them, and to live your life the way you like, and not having to be confined to a certain way. No one wants to be confined to just this lifestyle, and not being able to live a free lifestyle. Most people want to be free, and most people don't talk about them want to be free. So they just decide to conform to what society thinks as the norm, but none of it's normal. Everything is about how we perceive our own lives and what we want for ourselves. You can decide to be a monogamous, you can decide to be poly, you can decide to be whatever you want to be. But the point is that when you live your authentic life and do what's right for you, then you can decide what kind of relationship style that you have. And there isn't one way to have a relationship, and there isn't a wrong way either. It's really about what's personal and what's authentic to you. So with all that being said, when you're thinking about relationships, decide what works for you. And it doesn't have to be what society says is the right way, because there is no right way. Because if you look at divorce rates, if you look at the number of husbands and wives who are having affairs with other people, we know that monogamy is not the only way to have relationships. And it's one thing that that I know for sure, is that there are other ways to live your authentic self through your relationships, and not have to worry about all the things that come with not doing that. So if you're not living your authentic self in your relationship, take a step back and figure out what's working, what you want to work for you, and begin to choose that, whatever that may be for you. And understand you can have whatever relationship style that you choose for you, and whatever that is, it's okay. So whether it's poly, whether it's monogamy, whatever you decide, it's your personal choice, and it's going to be good for you. Thank you for joining me.